Welcome. You are about to spend the next 20 minutes inside Tutor25, the lifelong learning company that treats every adult mind as a serious investor in itself. We built Tutor25 on a single conviction. The world doesn't need more content, it needs better questions. Tonight I'll walk you through the problem, the product, the market, the model, and the ask. Whether you're here as a future shareholder, a future user, or both, by the end of this deck, you should know exactly what we're building, why now, and what your euro buys. Adults are not lazy, they are overwhelmed. Every CEO worries about reskilling. Every employee feels the AI shockwave. And yet the dominant tools are still video libraries that nobody finishes. 73% of professionals admit their skills are aging out within 5 years. Less than 8% of MOOC enrollees ever complete a course. And one-on-one tutoring, the only thing proven to work, remains a luxury good. The market gap isn't content. It's the absence of a patient, intelligent mentor who actually remembers you. That is the gap Tutor25 fills. Our mission is one sentence long. Make a brilliant private tutor available to every curious adult. Not a search engine, not a course catalog. A tutor, patient, personal, and proven. Patient, because the AI never sighs at the same question twice. Personal, because it remembers your goals, your weak spots, and your last breakthrough. Proven, because every interaction is anchored in cognitive science. For the price of one paperback a month, anyone can have what only the wealthy could buy a generation ago. A thinker, on call. Why the name Tutor25? Because by 25, most people stop being formally taught, and yet the next 60 years of life demand more learning, not less. Our manifesto is simple, where Socrates meets the algorithm. 2,500 years ago, a barefoot philosopher proved that the best way to learn was not to be told, but to be asked. We've revived that method with modern intelligence. Every Tutor25 lesson is a dialogue, not a download. The unexamined life, as the man said, is not worth living. We've made examination effortless. This is the architecture under every lesson. 7 questions, 4 modules, 28 minutes, 1 mentor who remembers. 7. Because George Miller proved in 1956 that the human working memory can juggle 7 plus or minus 2 chunks at a time. 4 modules, concept, practice, reflect, apply, because anything less is shallow and anything more breaks attention. 28 minutes, because that is exactly the span between coffee and distraction. And 1 mentor across all of it, because continuity is what makes a tutor and not just a search box. Today, the catalog spans 21 professional categories and more than 185 lessons, all written, reviewed, and refined by domain experts. From AI tools to longevity, from negotiation to public speaking, the topics are the things ambitious adults actually pay for in coaches and boot camps. The library compounds. Every lesson sharpens the mentor's ability to teach the next one, and every learner's questions feed back into the curriculum. Here is the actual product. The lesson library is the front door for most users. 22 categories, more than 186 lessons. Instant search by skill or topic. Difficulty tiers from Explorer to Advanced. Notice that nothing in this view feels like a corporate LMS. It is opinionated, beautiful, and inviting. The user is a single click away from starting. 6 pillars define the daily experience. Start your way. Upload a document, browse the library, or just talk to the mentor. AI mentor chat with voice dictation. Adaptive lesson plans that reshape themselves around your pace. Progress analytics with confidence scoring. Bank-level security and GDPR compliance. And global language support. The mentor reasons natively in over 100 languages, never machine translated. The landing page is intentional. We built for ages 15 to 95, which means warmth, clarity, no jargon, no neon AI cliches. The promise is simple. Master any skill at your own pace, in 28-minute journeys, with a mentor that actually remembers you. Notice the human face, the soft tones, the absence of cryptocurrency-style hype. This is what trust looks like for an audience that has been burned by EdTech before. Trust is not earned by claims, it's earned by transparency. The Our Approach page exposes the science behind every lesson. Miller's Law on working memory, spaced repetition, dual coding, and Socratic dialogue. Users can see why the lessons feel different. Investors can see why the moat is real. This is not GPT in a wrapper. It is a product designed around how the human brain actually consolidates knowledge. 4 tiers, deliberately spaced. Wanderer, free, the gateway drug. The Curious at €7. Our anchor consumer plan, priced below a paperback. Everlearner at €77 for power users and small teams. Thinkery at $287 for organizations that need SSO, admin controls, and team management. The architecture is classic SaaS, free funnel, mass market sweet spot, prosumer tier, enterprise. Margins are healthy at every level. This is what a Tutor25 session feels like, a real exchange. The mentor doesn't dump information. It asks the smallest question that produces the largest insight, then the next, and the next. By the 7th question, the learner has constructed the answer themselves, which is the only kind of learning that survives the week. And because the mentor remembers, your next session begins where this one ended. That's the compounding. New users have 3 doors, and we measured every one. Door 1, browse the curated library, the safest path for cautious explorers. Door 2, just ask the mentor, the most magical path, especially with voice input, where users describe their problem and get a custom lesson seconds later. Door 3, upload a document, PDFs, slide decks, meeting notes, and the mentor turns it into a personalized journey. 3 ways in, 0 friction. All 3 feed the same memory. Engagement is the kingdom, and gamification is the gate. We use streaks, XP, badges, and leagues, but tuned for adults, not teenagers. No cartoon mascots, no guilt notifications. Badges reward depth, not just completion. The confidence score lets learners see their growth as a curve. And the referral loop, invite a friend, both unlock a month, has been our most efficient acquisition channel by far. The market is enormous, and the timing is exquisite. Lifelong learning and corporate L&D combine to a €400 billion global TAM. Our serviceable addressable market, EU and North America consumer plus SMB, is $85 billion. We model a 5-year SOM of $420 million, which is just 0.5% of the SAM. Until 2023, mass market personalized tutoring was technically impossible. Frontier LLMs changed that overnight. We are early to a window that will close. Here is the competitive matrix in one glance. Coursera has the catalog but no mentor. Duolingo has gamification but not depth. Khan has rigor but is built for kids. ChatGPT has reasoning but no continuity, no curriculum, no progress. Tutor25 is the only product that combines Socratic dialogue, persistent memory, the 28-minute framework, adult-first design, document-to-lesson conversion, and confidence scoring at a consumer price point of €7. Every competitor is missing at least 3 of the 6 capabilities that define the category we're creating. Through Porter's lens, the picture is unusually friendly. Supplier power is low because we run multi-model. Gemini, GPT, Claude are interchangeable, and the AI gateway pattern lets us arbitrage cost and quality in real time. Buyer power is low because consumers are fragmented, and switching costs grow with memory depth. Substitutes, books, coaches, YouTube, are fundamentally not personalized. Rivalry is low today because no incumbent has packaged Socratic AI for adults. The single elevated force is new entrants, and that is exactly why speed and brand matter now. Look closely, and you'll see why none of the obvious incumbents can simply follow us in. Coursera's value depends on accredited universities. They cannot become a chat product without breaking that promise. Duolingo's whole stock thesis is streak-driven microlessons. Depth dilutes their model. Khan Academy is a K-12 nonprofit. Adult-first commercial product is off-mission and off-funding. ChatGPT is horizontal. They will never build a curriculum, a progress system, or a community for one vertical. Each of them has structural reasons to leave this space open. Every design choice in Tutor25 traces back to peer-reviewed research. Miller on working memory, Ebbinghaus on the forgetting curve, Bloom's 2 sigma proof that one-to-one tutoring lifts students 2 standard deviations above classroom averages. That is the gap we are closing with AI. Dweck on growth mindset, Mayer on dual coding, Roediger and Karpicki on retrieval practice. We don't invent learning theory. We operationalize a century of it. This is the slide that turns curiosity into conviction. In 1984, Benjamin Bloom proved that one-to-one tutoring made students 2 standard deviations better than peers in classrooms. The result was a tragedy. Tutoring couldn't scale, so most of humanity was stuck on the lower curve. Tutor25 collapses the cost from roughly €800 a month for human tutoring down to 100-fold reduction, while delivering, by our internal measurements, more than 80% of the learning lift. That is the unlock of our generation. 3 revenue streams that reinforce each other. Subscriptions are the predictable arranged by engine, with healthy gross margins approaching 85% at scale, because the marginal cost of one more lesson is essentially the LLM inference cost, already falling. Sponsorships let mission-aligned brands fund free access for underserved learners. This is a B2B2C channel with high lifetime value. And gifting, seasonal codes, bundles, peer-to-peer, has proven to be both viral and high margin. One mission, 3 doors to revenue. We have modeled 3 growth paths, and we can run any of them. Plan A is fully bootstrapped, under €500 a month, pure word of mouth and referrals, projected at 5,000 monthly actives in year 1. Plan B assumes 10 to 50,000 euros a month in disciplined paid acquisition, scaling to 50,000 actives by year 2. Plan C, the one this raise unlocks, deploys sponsorship-funded growth. Brands underwrite free access for target communities, taking us to 250,000 actives by year 3 with a CAC near 0. Unit economics tell the truthful story. Blended ARPU lands around €11 a month once Everlearner and Thinkery mix in. Gross margin rises to 82% at year 3 steady state as inference costs fall and our caching layer matures. Customer acquisition cost in Plan B is €18 blended. Lifetime value over a 24-month horizon at 4% monthly churn is €264, an LTV to CAC ratio of 14.6, well above the venture benchmark of 3. Payback is under 2 months. This is a cash-efficient business. Here is the 5-year base case under Plan B. We start year 1 at 12,000 active users and €180,000 in arranged buy. By year 3, we cross break even with 5.4 million arranged buy. Year 5 lands us at 30 million in annual recurring revenue, 82% gross margin, and 10.6 million in EBITDA. With international expansion in years 6 and 7, the trajectory points cleanly past 100 million arranged buy. These numbers are conservative on conversion and aggressive on retention, because retention is what we control best. Discounted cash flow at a 12% WACC and 3% terminal growth produces a 5-year NPV of 42.8 million euros, an internal rate of return of 63%, and an ROI of 8.2 times invested capital, with a payback period under 3 years. These are not aspirational numbers. They are the output of the same revenue calculator visible inside the admin product, which any investor can stress test live. The 18-month roadmap is sequenced by user demand, not engineering vanity. Q2, we ship Spanish and Portuguese to open the LATAM and Iberian markets. Q3, voice first goes live, turning the mentor into a true conversation. Q4 brings the Teams tier with admin analytics. Early 2027, we launch the sponsorship marketplace and a partner API for LMS integrations. By Q3 2027, we are live in 10 languages and expanding into the US. The team is deliberately small and senior. The founding group has shipped consumer software, run AI infrastructure at scale, and designed curricula used by tens of thousands of learners. The advisor bench includes neuroscientists, educators, and SaaS operators who have built and successfully exited companies in adjacent categories. We hire slowly. We ship weekly. We answer support emails personally. Early traction is meaningful, not vanity. 8,400 users signed up in private beta with no paid acquisition. 68% week 4 cohort retention, well above category averages. Active users average 4.7 lessons a week. Paying subscribers give us an NPS of 64, in the rare air zone above brands like Apple and Tesla. 12% free-to-paid conversion, 72,000 euros in self-funded MRR run rate. Every one of these numbers improved last quarter. 4 forces converged this year and not before. Frontier LLMs are finally good enough to actually tutor, to ask, to listen, to adapt, rather than just retrieve. Inference cost has fallen 95% in 24 months, which is what makes €7 pricing profitable today and not in some optimistic future. Adult anxiety about AI replacing jobs is creating real demand for reskilling, not abstract interest. And the incumbents who could threaten us are structurally locked into business models that prevent them from following. This is the only window. The ask is €2.5 million, structured as a seed round, providing 18 months of runway and activating Plan C. 45% goes to engineering and AI infrastructure, the moat. 30% to growth and the sponsorship marketplace, the channel. 15% to curriculum and language expansion, the inventory. 10% to operations and runway, the buffer. At this round size and our current burn, we reach default alive by month 14 and Series A metrics by month 18. 4 things your euro buys, plainly. First, a category, not a feature inside someone else's roadmap. Second, a defensible moat that compounds every month between memory, curriculum, and brand. Third, a real business, not a narrative. €7 pricing is profitable today, not subsidized by venture money. Fourth, a mission you'd defend at dinner. Lifelong learning for every curious adult is the kind of cause you'll happily explain to your kids in 15 years. One closing thought. The proverb says the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, and the second best time is now. The lifelong learning category will be defined in the next 24 months by whoever moves first, hires best, and loves the user most. We intend to be that company. Join us, plant Tutor25 with us. We'll spend your euro carefully, ship every week, and report honestly. Thank you.